Hello, my friends. Dr. Richard Coleman here. It's a true pleasure to connect with you today. Before we start, I want to make something very clear. I'm not here to sell you anything. What I'm going to share today is something that changed the lives of many men I've worked with. And if you stay until the end, I'll leave the link to the official source of what truly works safely and naturally. You'll find it right below this video, in the description and in the first pinned comment. I'm mentioning this early because unfortunately there are so many fake versions out there, and I want to make sure you don't fall for scams. Let's be honest for a second. If you're a man over 50, maybe even in your early 60s, you've probably felt it, that quiet but steady decline. You wake up tired even after 8 hours of sleep. You catch yourself sitting down more often even when you used to be full of energy. Your muscles don't recover the way they used to. You feel more irritated, less patient, and sometimes, for no reason at all, you just feel off. You might look in the mirror and see someone who doesn't quite match the man you still feel you are inside. And maybe the most frustrating part, your drive, your focus, your confidence, it's not the same anymore. It's not just about performance, it's about identity, about how it feels to be you. I've had countless men sit in my office, look me in the eye and say, "Doc, I just want to feel like myself again." See, most people assume it's just age. Getting older, they say, but that's only part of the story. What's really happening is something deeper, a silent decline in natural testosterone. And when that drops, it affects everything: energy, focus, muscle, sleep, mood, and yes, even confidence. But here's the interesting part. In most cases, it's not because the body can't produce it anymore. It's because something is blocking it. Modern life has quietly stacked the odds against men. Plastics, processed food, lack of deep sleep, chronic stress, and even chemicals in your water and soap. All of them raise what scientists call estrogenic compounds. These compounds act like fake hormones, confusing your system, lowering your natural production, and leaving you tired, foggy, and demotivated. I remember a patient, Paul, 58 years old. He came in exhausted. He said, "Doc, I'm eating healthy. I walk every day, but I feel like my tank's always empty." After some digging, it turned out the issue wasn't his diet or his age. It was that his body had simply stopped responding the way it used to. His hormones were out of sync. Now, here's where things get really interesting. One evening, while reviewing some clinical studies, I came across something that seemed almost too simple: a combination of natural plant extracts and minerals designed to restore balance during sleep, when the body's hormone cycle is most active. The science behind it made perfect sense. You see, testosterone production naturally peaks at night, during deep restorative sleep, when your body releases growth hormones and repairs tissue. But if your sleep is shallow, if your cortisol, the stress hormone, is high, that production shuts down. So instead of adding artificial testosterone, which can have serious side effects, the key is to reactivate your body's own natural process while you rest. That's exactly what this formula does. It's made from compounds like zinc, magnesium, ashwagandha, and tongkat root, all shown in peer-reviewed studies to support healthy testosterone levels naturally. And the result? Well, let me just say this. Men have described it as waking up with the energy of a 25-year-old again. I'll remind you, if you want to see the same information I found, I'll leave the official link in the description and in the first pinned comment. That's the same source I recommend to my own patients, the one that's not sold in stores, and that has legitimate backing. Now, why haven't you heard about this before? Because frankly, it's not profitable for the mainstream. Most of the time, when men feel drained, they're offered one of three things: expensive testosterone shots, prescription pills with side effects, or cheap over-the-counter boosters that don't address the real cause. None of them fix the actual signal, the natural communication between your brain and your glands. That's why so many men end up in a cycle of dependence, always chasing that spark, but never really getting it back. And here's the truth. When your hormones are naturally balanced, your body does the rest on its own. You don't have to live tired, foggy, and frustrated. You just have to remove what blocks you and support what rebuilds you. Let me break it down simply. When you sleep, your brain releases signals to your pituitary gland, a small organ that triggers testosterone production. But when your body is under chronic stress, that signal gets muted. Cortisol rises, melatonin drops, and testosterone tanks. That's why most men wake up still tired. Their body never truly recovered overnight. And it's also why the right nighttime support can make such a dramatic difference. When you feed your body the right nutrients before bed, zinc, magnesium, adaptogens like ashwagandha and ginseng, you're not forcing testosterone. You're restarting the natural process. That's why when people use this formula consistently, they often notice within the first few weeks deeper sleep, more morning energy, easier muscle recovery, clearer mental focus, a quiet return of confidence and drive. You don't wake up transformed overnight. You wake up reconnected to your natural rhythm, to your strength, to the version of yourself that always existed beneath the exhaustion. Let's talk about something that's rarely discussed. Low testosterone doesn't just drain your energy, it drains your spirit. I've seen men, strong, disciplined, hardworking men, slowly lose the spark that once defined them. They stop doing the things they love. They lose interest in hobbies, in intimacy, even in their own goals. And it's not weakness, it's biology. When your hormones are off, your motivation, confidence, and even your mood follow. It's heartbreaking because most of them think it's their fault. They blame themselves for being lazy or for getting old. But in reality, it's simply the body asking for help. And once you give it the right tools, it knows exactly what to do. That's why I keep sharing this information even if it's uncomfortable, because I've seen the change it brings. I've seen men go from withdrawn and defeated to smiling, energetic, and genuinely alive again, not because they took some synthetic shortcut, but because they restored what was already theirs. And again, if you ever decide to look into what I'm referring to, please, do it safely. The only trusted source I've found, the one with real reviews and verified ingredients, is in the description and the first pinned comment of this video. I'll share something personal. There was a time in my own life, in my mid-50s, when I started feeling that same sluggishness. I'd get home from work exhausted. I'd sit in my chair after dinner and doze off within minutes. I told myself it was normal, that it was just age. But deep down, I knew something was off. My focus, my stamina, even my mood, they just weren't the same. That's when I started researching this in depth. And honestly, what I found shocked me. I realized that nearly everything I thought was aging was actually imbalance. When I began applying what I now share with my patients, small natural changes before bed, the difference was almost immediate. Within a few weeks, my mornings felt different. My clarity came back. And most importantly, that feeling of drive, the one that makes you want to move, build, lead, returned. That's when I promised myself I'd keep sharing this message. Because it's not about vanity. It's about vitality. About living with strength, purpose, and joy. At any age. Now, let me be very clear. This isn't magic. You won't take something tonight and wake up tomorrow like Superman. But if you support your body properly, when especially during rest, the change compounds. You'll notice more energy in the morning, better workouts, improved mood, and over time a quiet but powerful transformation. That's what true health looks like. Steady, sustainable, and built from within. So, if you've been feeling like your energy is slipping away, if you're tired of feeling tired, please do yourself a favor and check the link below and the first pinned comment. That's where I've placed the official site, the one I trust and the one my patients have used safely. Avoid fake versions. They're everywhere. Don't get scammed by cheap copies. Only the original formula has the proper dosage and verified ingredients that actually support male hormone health. My friends, aging doesn't have to mean decline. You don't have to accept fatigue, low drive, or loss of confidence as normal. You can feel strong, focused, and vibrant again, not by fighting your body, but by working with it. So tonight, when you go to bed, remember this. Your body is designed to restore itself, if you let it. Give it the support it needs. Give it the rest it deserves. And watch how little by little you begin to wake up with the energy you thought was long gone. Again, I'll leave that official link for you below this video and in the first pinned comment. It's there for anyone who's ready to learn more and take that next natural step. This is Dr. Richard Coleman. Take care of yourself, my friends. Stay strong, stay curious, and remember, the best version of you isn't gone, he's just waiting to be reawakened.